What's up, nerds? Welcome back. How we all doing? Zoom that back out. There we go. Oh, a great shirt. A great shirt. You're all jealous. You can be jealous. It's okay. You're allowed. How's everybody doing? I figured as much. What's up, Naru? What's up, Morniel? How is everybody doing? What up, Ark? I feel like I just saw you. Oh, wait, I did. So we're gonna play some LOTRO tonight. I'll be messing around with Champ, do some festival stuff. See if I can't get lucky and get another DPS bracer, which would be nice. Yes, I did see those two playing Baldur's Gate. I did indeed. What's up, Moo? How you doing, buddy? Should do this thing too. I always forget. We want to flip it. That's what I want to do. Is I'll flip it. Let's see. Oh, the liberation, eh? How was it? Purple. Need it like that. Felt rushed and incomplete. Underwhelming compared to previous entries. Oof. That's rough. That's not what you want to hear. Now. Do that. Oh. I swear I'm one of the least photogenic people out there. Good Lord. All right. Anyway. Hey, what's up, Freelorn? How you doing, sir? It has been a long time. I hope you're doing well, my man. I see you are how you say, I don't know. Can't like video, I'm fine. Actual photos, if I take them, they're dog shit. Damn, I have struck a chord with Morniel. All right, I didn't know that was possible. I'm doing pretty good, man. It is it's good to see you. I see that you are on to a new venture. I hope that's going well for you. What have you been up to otherwise, dude? What else has been going on? It's a very chaotic song for the start here. I feel like I should just put on here. I know what I should do for the beginning here is just we'll go to my YouTube channel, which !YT in the chat, and make sure you're subscribed. And we're gonna do my channel, not my account. I want my channel. I swear. There. Got that. And then videos. This is gonna play an ad. I still don't understand to this day why I have to watch ads on my own channel. I don't have any room for another monitor, dude. I just don't. I'm gonna turn the game down for a second. I'll do that. Loving working on a strategy game, being in a smallish studio again. Dude. No, I don't. So let's do that. We'll throw this up there. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now we're good. That's better for just kind of, you know, starting out here. Just a little Helm's Deep fireplace action. Yo, Freelorn, I was very happy to see your name pop up today. That was cool. That was cool, man. Actually, I was talking about actually not too terribly long ago, because it was about when we met up at in San Francisco for TwitchCon. You know, getting to hang out and all that stuff. What? I mean, hey, there's a 46-inch TV on the wall over there too. You got the 49-inch above me here, and there's 327s on my desk. I don't have room, and there's another 27-inch that's connected to that computer, and then there's the 16-inch MacBook Pro over there. I don't need more screens in this room. You know, and the Stream Deck has 32 little screens on it. Okay. There is always room. But yeah. How's everybody's Christmas? Did you guys have a good Christmas if you celebrate? Ours is pretty low key. We always do pretty low key Christmases around here. Had to step away for a bit. Life happens and such. I know that all too well. Super excited again and to be working on a game that I think is going to be great. Dude, that makes me happy. I always like hearing that people are, when they're excited and passionate about what they're doing. That's very refreshing to hear. You know what you can get me, Sweepies? Change your name on Twitch. Because I still have to look at it and be like, I think that's him? Question mark? I don't know. You know what I've got, though? Potatoes. Brother man. You're working on it, brother man. Okay, I have a question. How many of you saw the ugly sweater? It's gonna go wild on here because there's that green in there. Some of it's gonna just disappear. How many of you saw the ugly sweater? And this will either be that you are in the same kin as me, or you actually looked at my story on Twitch. So let me know. Yes or no, did you see it? Yes or no in chat. Tell me right now, did you see it or no? Tell me. I need an answer right now. You did see it in person. All right. I mean, I guess, you know, if there were no's, I was just going to toss it on real quick, but I guess everybody saw it, so I guess I don't need to then, huh? I see how you all are. I see what you're doing. I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's okay. Look at me. Anytime someone says look at me, I can only hear the Joker. All right, hold on. Yeah, see, it's gonna go crazy. Here, let's do this. Let me turn the filter off real quick, because you got to be able to see all the glory. This thing is. Whew. Let's see, filters, and let's turn that off for a moment. There you go. You can't beat this. I have Mount Doom and Barad-dûr on my back. And Isengard. Or Thank over there. See, I can't play with it on because the green screen, because there's too much green in it. Like I've got Lorien leaves. Like, oh yeah. Fellowship. Kill the pony. Gandalf. Or I could just do this. All right, there is no shot I could wear that for an entire stream. One, it gets so hot down here as it is. No. There is no way. Let's see, I got Naga. Get off me! Oh yeah. They call it a sweater for a reason, chat. They call it a sweater for a reason. Yeah. It's a little toasty in those. But anyway, like I said, I hope you guys had a good Christmas if you celebrate. Otherwise, I hope you just had some good time with family and friends and whatnot, and just got to hang out and have some time off. So, but for right now, how about we do this? How about we get in game? So I'm gonna go ahead and close this now, and then turn the game audio back on. Give it a few seconds to save, since it likes to do that. Let's go ahead and swap this out. All right. Okay, so I think I should be able to, because I made a bunch of shields the other day. Yeah, there is zip. Yep. So I should be able to just craft this recipes then. Should do quest. Boom. Nice. And that, oh, I didn't accept the damn quest though. I did that the last time. What a dummy. I gotta wait 5 minutes now, because I did that before. I didn't actually accept the quest, but I had the quest. I did that last time. Oh well, it'll be fine. Exactly. Nightbot, you're right. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Hey Freelorn, do you have a link for the game? Or like the site? And see what you're working on. If you don't mind. Tier 2 152. Dude. See if I can get in there. See if I get in this group real quick. 3, 2, 1. Invite. 3, 2, 1. Invite. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's see what we got here. So for those of you who may not be familiar, Freelorn is one of the former community managers for Lord of the Rings Online. He was with Turbine, then Warner Brothers for 12 years. He was there for a long time, but now he is working on some different projects. So I'm always curious to see what we got going on here. Oh, okay. So, wait, go back here. So is this kind of more in the vein of like a kind of a Civ style strategy game? Oh, sure, dude. I can just give you a call. Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man, long time. Let me get you turned up just a little bit here. That should be good.
Yeah. And I had to turn the volume down on the stream. I forgot how all this worked. It's been so long since I've done this.
You know what's going to happen is now that you and I are talking, Kyle is just going to pop out of nowhere. I haven't talked to him in a little while, so. All right. So what we got going on here, man?
Well, like I said, I had to step away for a minute and get life in gear, but I'm well, like I said, I had to happy to be back. Hold on a second, I'm still having some audio issues. Give me one second.
I hear you.
All right, let's try that again.
All right.
Much better. Okay, yes. So, much better. Oh no, wait a minute. No, it's still
Dude, audio is the worst. It does not matter how long you've been doing it. Audio is the absolute worst. And every time you think you got it, you don't.
All right, let's try this one more time. Now let's see if I get it back. Nope. All right, great. That worked. Perfect.
Good deal. Good deal.
All right, so yeah, so after I left Turbine Warner Brothers, I decided it was time to take a break, and we tried to. I worked with some friends, tried to start a small game company, and didn't happen. And then a whole bunch of personal crap happened after that, so I just decided to step away. And the opportunity for this company came up a couple of years ago. They're working. This is the team that basically all of the senior management and team that worked on and made Civilization 5 started their own game company, and they decided they wanted to make something better. So that's what we're trying to do.
Well, so they know what they're doing then. Yeah. They have the
Yes, they
experience.
absolutely they're serious about it, and they took out. They said all the things that, for whatever reasons, they couldn't do or weren't able to do on a Civilization 5 type game. Let's do that, and they created their own game engine and made something that is the most benchmarked CPU game engine still to this day. Everybody tests their CPUs against Ashes of the Singularity, which was our company's first game, and now it's just, let's make the best strategy game we can with things that they could never do before. So here we are.
I feel like I'm so terrible at these games. I get into them, and then I get too like hyper focused on like one thing, and then I'm completely oblivious to everything else that is going on around me, and then I'm so far behind, or something else is just not possible. Like between that style of game and, you know, the RTSs, between those two, like, I don't know. You have to show me the ropes or something later.
Oh, I can do that. That's easy. That's easy with this one, and it's one of the things we wanted to do, is make sure that the game was new player friendly. Not only like if you're an established strategy game veteran, you will get this game no problem. But if you're new to it, we will walk you through everything, ease you into it. If you don't know a system's there, it's not going to stop you. This is not a game like a Civilization where you have to necessarily pick a specific route to go to win. So like in Civ, you can go, I want to create nukes as fast as possible, or I want to win by religion as fast as possible. What we're doing with our game is making it so that there's no set path to victory every time. So it's you
Gotcha.
build it how you want to build it, and we'll walk you through how to do that. And as you play the game and get more comfortable with it, you start to pick up on the other smaller nuances that can make you even more powerful as you go through.
Even more betterer.
Even more gooder.
Yeah,
That's
more
mine.
good.
It's
Yeah, that was
more
always
gooder.
more gooder. Yeah. Well, heck yeah, man. I if you don't mind me asking, the other project, was that trying to somewhat revitalize Ashron's Call? Is that what you guys were trying to do on the other project?
That was it exactly. We were working. I'm not going to disclose who was working on
Sure.
it, but a few of us that were connected with the game from way back in the day, we're trying to make a, I guess, spiritual successor.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we had some outside help from what was essentially a fan. We all knew who he was and everything. Unfortunately, the project didn't get off the ground, and then shortly after it didn't get off the ground, our outside person who was helping unfortunately passed away.
Wow. I gotcha. Okay.
And so that was kind of that. Yeah, but it was sad for those of us that worked on Ashron's Call, or just even players. It was always something we thought deserved more credit than it got, and maybe one day it'll happen. But for now, it was a nice thought.
Hey, look, this is you, Insider Program with Andy Cataldo. How about that?
Oh yes, I love that. I love being on camera. It's fantastic. But it is important for the community manager to be out front occasionally. But my
Sure.
job now is more about putting everybody else in front of the camera and just making sure the company is put in the best light, and that's kind of, even for the last 2 years, why I kind of didn't come out and start trying to be more active and streaming and everything is I want the people that make this game to be the stars. It should never, for a community manager in a game company, and this is one thing I can say now, especially since I'm not beholden to any other companies. Community managers should be the last person you see. it should always be about the developers and the people that make the game, the people that have the most influence on them to be the ones that are out there in front. And that's something I always fought for, and I'm trying to do it now.
Gotcha, man. That sounds good. Yeah, and I definitely I agree with that. Like that's I've been kind of poking the bear recently again of getting people on stream and just talking, you know, which some people like, some people don't like, but you know me. I poke the bear a lot. I was very good at it. Just reading back through here a sec. So what else you been up to? Oh, lost you. We'll get him back here in a second. Trying to buy the River Hobbit bundle and was curious if I buy the base pack, will price reduce for the high? It should actually scale. So if you buy the base, I believe it does that. You shouldn't end up paying twice. I think my cooldown is up yet. No. Oh wait, no, I can just do that because now I have the. There we go. I was just waiting for the recipe. That's right. Ooh, wait. I'm in the next tier. There you are. Welcome back.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm still figuring stuff out. This is a brand new PC. I just brought it home from work like right before vacation, so yeah.
Okay. I know how that goes.
Yeah, so I don't know how much of my rant you heard, so that's good.
We heard up to is making, I'll get to that in just a moment. Let's see, where were we? Because we were talking about the Asheron's Call successor and then putting like devs in front of the camera and stuff, and I don't know, with me kind of like poking the bear, you know, that's what I've been trying to do a lot more recently is get people talking. And I just had that chat last week with Severlin, and that did pretty well. You know, I didn't give him too much forewarning of what we were going to talk about, so went a little bit more authentic.
No. I saw that, and I thought you did great, and you weren't poking the bear, so to speak.
Oh no, behind the scenes I do. That's.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. But I can say like I'll make my little rant that I just did shorter. The one thing I'm happy that I can do here is that, and I'm not saying I couldn't necessarily. You see, you are poking it a little bit.
You knew what you were getting into.
One of the great things about being the person in for Oxide Games, I am the marketing manager. I'm the community manager. My boss. There is no marketing person above me. There is no community person above me. I am it in the company. I'm the same.
That's gotta feel good.
I'm a one-man team. So one of the things I've done with our community and what we're really trying to stress is you shouldn't really see me or hear me.
Right, okay.
It should be the developers. It should be the people that are making the game that are the ones talking to people. And I see that with too many other community managers where it's always they're the mouthpiece. It should be you, the fans, the people that want the game to be great, the people that are enjoying the game, the people that have legit criticisms should be the ones there getting the responses from our developers, so they can see it, they can get that one-on-one touch with it and go, oh, did I make a mistake? Because we all game companies want to make great games, but at a certain point in development, are you making a great game for the players, or are you making a great game for yourself?
Right.
And with Oxide, we are making a great game, we hope, at least, for the players, not for ourselves.
Heck yeah, I think that goes a long way. It really does. I mean, you know, you were in this community for a very long time. Like I said, was it about 12 years that you were with WB Turbine?
The whole long journey was 2004. Yeah, 12 years, 2004 to 2016.
Yeah, that's a long run. But yeah, I think that goes a long way, man. Like, and as long as you're authentic with it too, like I think anything that's forced is definitely, it's perceived, you know, like people can read through that stuff, and it's like there was a joke a while back, I think it was when Destiny 2 was coming out, or like when an expansion was coming out or something like that, and I think Dr. Disrespect was actually watching the trailer for it or something like that, and he's like, all right, you're gonna see some landscape here, and then you're gonna have this engineer talking, and it's gonna be this corporate lingo. And it was like 3 seconds later that started, and it's just like, come on, man. This is like, you know what's gonna happen, you know kind of what they're gonna say, what the spiel is gonna be, and it's just not authentic anymore. And you know, there's new ways to do things, there's different ways to do things, and I think people need to explore that stuff. And just, you know, you see it with when developers are streaming and whatnot, and that's, you know, it's refreshing, it's different, it's cool.
Yeah, no, everything is corporate now, and everything, you know, we every publisher is a big I will never talk bad about our publisher, Microsoft. They're, you know, they've been super great for us and helped us in making this great game. With big publishers, you get commercial. You know, that's what you get. Is you see these videos at the Game Awards or other things like that. It's
Expectation.
big corporations making big commercials for their big games, and there's nothing wrong with that, but but when they come off as disingenuous, that's right. When that's where the struggle comes. Even for me, is you look at it and it's just like, hey, is this a car commercial, or is this games, which I still consider games as art? So I want to see that artistic expression and see that effort from the developers that, you know, there was from, you know, 60 to 100 to 500 to 2,000 people working tirelessly to make this thing great, and then a bigger corporation comes in as their publisher and makes it look like the you know, here's carbon copy 5 of game C that is this type, and you sit back in the studio and go, oh.
Yeah, I think like, to your point, like, if people actually get the opportunity to be genuine, and like, you put those people that are building stuff and let them, like, okay, you obviously, there's certain things you can't talk about, right? You have things that are in development, you have things that you don't want to throw out there too early or whatever, but you put those people that are building it and let them show why they're excited about building it. And, you know, not just like, oh, it's a paycheck. You know, it's, if they truly believe in the product that they're making, that'll come across as well. And so it sounds like that's kind of the route you're going to be going.
Absolutely, and it's like I've had the opportunity this year. I was very lucky. I was able to go to Gamescom. I was able to go to Paris Games Week, and I went with a great team, some of our best developers, and the passion that they put out to, when we had press sitting down with Gamescom was our first time letting press sit down with the game, and not a single member of the press, when their allotted time was done, every single one of them said, "Oh man, I want to play more."
Yeah, that's what you want to hear. Yeah.
And to see the faces of the people that have worked on the game for way longer than I've been there, all their faces light up, and they're so excited and they're so passionate and they're so it's not a chore to go do something like this, where you're doing 8 interviews a day, 4 days straight for an hour at a time. It's you barely have time for lunch and everything, but every single time one of these people from the press leaves, and they're super excited and they want to know more, and they're so stoked about it, and me just sitting there going, I'm doing nothing for this, but I'm here to promote this and help them, and just seeing how excited they are is one of those things that is why I like doing this job, and something that I felt like I had gotten away from for a little while when I was there before. But that's what you want out of a game, is people to want to play more. When you give them, hey, you have 45 minutes to play, and they go, is that it?
That's not enough.
That's awesome.
That's exciting, dude. Like, I'm genuinely happy for you, because I know there we had talked in the past, and I know there were some rough times there, so I'm genuinely happy for you, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And yes, there was some rough times. I can say times are much better now, as a matter of fact.
That's good.
I have a beautiful house here in West Virginia, which I'm eventually going to move out of, because I don't have enough room, because I have a 5-year-old, and my wife is about to give birth in February.
All right.
And so we're running out of room in this house.
I know how that goes. We had to move in back in 2018, because just the first house was the first house, and then you move on, and it's just, now we have almost too much space, which is I'd rather have that be the problem. So
I'd love that. The problem is we got such a great, we bought this right in the middle of the pandemic, and we got like a 2% interest rate.
Yeah, we
are paying nothing for a mortgage right now.
Yeah, dude, we were in the same boat. We did, because we bought in December of 2018, and then we refinanced in 2019, and then refinanced again in the middle of the pandemic. So it's like, just had 3 things within essentially 3 years, and it was just crazy. It just felt like I was always signing bank documents.
Oh, I hate that stuff too.
It's so terrible.
But now we were looking for bigger houses, and we were looking around, and the interest rates are so high. It's like, nah, I don't want to pay that much for that house now. I could have got that one for way cheaper before.
Oh, yeah,
Let's wait
dude.
it out and cram ourselves in here for now.
Yeah, I'm glad we're at. It's I haven't. This is always funny, because I always say this, like, I live next to my mother-in-law, and people are like, ooh, and I'm like, nah, it's great. I love my mother-in-law.
No, I do too. It's awesome.
And it's just like, my son's 10 now, and I just go like, go next door. Go bug your grandma.
No, her mother lives, it's not right next door, but she's about a block away.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, we need a minute. Go play at your grandmother's. Let's go.
Yeah.
We'll go right down the street. It's good.
Absolutely.
Come have fun. Mommy and I need a minute.
Yeah.
We just want to take a nap.
Yeah, exactly. Which now he's super into Pokemon, so you can just tell him go play. He just got 2 new games, and so he's fine now. He's already turning into a gamer.
Well, there you go. Yeah, no, mine's the 5-year-old's not quite there yet, though. He does love the Pokemon. He loves the characters, so he's just about there. I just got to get him into that gaming thing now. He's sitting there and watch me. He'll come down when I'm playing on my PlayStation or something. He'll be like,
Yeah.
what are you playing? And he just sits down and sits in the room and be like, oh, no, this is not a game for you, sir. Sorry. No.
You're out there playing like Last of Us or something. Like, yeah. Why did you just stab that man in the face?
It's bad enough he's walked in on Family Guy enough that he quotes that occasionally
Oh
now.
no.
So, oh yeah, oh yes,
Yeah.
it's great. I love it. He said that we were painting today. We were up in our kitchen and we were doing some little painting things, and he missed something, and he looks at me. He's like, "Damn." I'm like,
Come on, man.
no, no, man, no,
Not yet.
not yet, please, no.
Yeah, we've had a little issue. I guess some of the kids at his school like the F-bomb a lot, and so
Ruh-roh.
it was this was probably like the sweetest way that you could like be upset with your kid, because they were playing Scrabble, and he spelled it, and then he looked at mom, and she just like laughed, and she's like, "You can spell it, don't you dare say it." And he's like, "Okay, but it's a real word." And she's like, "Yes, it is." And so that's also just how my son is too. He's who's tanking this? Why am I tanking this? I should not have this. Oh, this is not going to go well. I'm a little worried here.
It'll be fine.
Maybe we'll find out here in a minute, I guess.
I
Nope.
can't say for sure because
Minstrel
in
just
my
died.
hiatus from all things life, I did not pay attention to what was going on in Lotro, actually.
A lot. And wow. Yes, I could tank better with a shield. I know.
Well, duh. I tried to catch up now, but I did not pay attention for a little bit.
Yeah, it's wait. Hang on. Am I just damage tanking? I didn't know what I signed up for here. But yeah, I can't use my shields in there. Can't use shields anymore. And there's so much DPS in here. There's 3 hunters and 2 champs. Oh, I guess we're gonna lose one of these guys. We're gonna try to find a tank. Okay, well, I feel better now.
You're all right then.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like getting thrown into just being expected to DPS tank. That's not fun. I ain't got all the stuff for tanking on the champion right now. Oh, we got another champion.
Perfect. You're good. You're fine now. Everything's good.
I guess. Oh my goodness.
So I did in my absence. What is your compadre Kyle up to?
He has pretty much stepped away from most things at this point. Just kind of focusing on him and his life, which I applaud him for. You know, that's a very important thing to do. So.
Absolutely. I mean, I did the same thing, so I can't. I recommend it. It was there was just too much. Including stuff with the pandemic and everything else. It was just it became too much, and I needed to not for at least for me not pay attention to the outside world for a minute.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's that was always tough with the streaming stuff, is because like, it's a lot. Outsiders looking in, they see it and it's like, oh man, you're just sitting there playing games. It's like, no, there's a lot more under the hood, especially if you're doing it right. And
absolutely.
It's so demanding. And I'm fortunate enough that my wife is very supportive of it, and the fact that it's like just, you know, I have 3 days a week that I do it, and she knows that like as stuff releases, there's gonna be days where I make additional content, or I stream more or stream longer or something like that. So so she's been really cool about that, and you know, it's good having somebody like that's gotcha. Otherwise
Absolutely.
It's just not. I can't imagine what that's like if it's the other way around. You know, it's like, oh, you're spending all your time doing this, or whatever the case is, and you know.
I mean, it's like even here, like I for where I live, because of money and other things, it was you know, I drive about an hour and 15 minutes each way into my office, but I also work from home a lot too. So
Okay, I was gonna say otherwise that's brutal.
We are very flexible. As far as work-life balance, and if you need to work from home, as long as you can do your job and do everything you're supposed to do, you know, my company is very flexible on that. And like I do a hybrid schedule anyway, so I only go in at max. I go into the office 3 days a week. But my wife is very understanding, and she's like, look, as long as you're you're giving me my time, what you do on the other part of it, she's like, that's your thing, and if that's going to help your job and help make us more money or help make the game more successful, whatever, I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. And it is great to have somebody that's supportive of you like that. And it's not, she's like, I don't want to be on it, but I understand it, and I know what you need to do, and you know, as long as you make my time, you do whatever you need to do. And I love it, and it's great.
This is not good.
Yeah, y'all getting romper stomped again.
Yeah. This is. I mean, I should be in blue for this, not in yellow. I just think I'm gonna
totally pull it out.
I mean, people can just come back through the snow wall, sadly, but
I would never promote something like that.
well, that damage just never scaled up properly to kill people, so. Hey, would you guys do you guys anticipate going to like expos and conventions and stuff like that?
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna we have a whole bunch of stuff that I can't talk about yet, but
Yeah.
We have a whole bunch of stuff planned. Again, Microsoft has been great. I'm not just saying that because I have to. No, I like to joke about. I did that at all the press tours too, as you know, our executive producer for Microsoft was sitting in the room. No, they really have been great in giving us the resources, not only to be able to go to like a Gamescom or Paris Games Week, but when the game is ready to launch and we put on the full assault, it's going to be great to have that the resources of Microsoft and their full support behind the game, because they believe in the game as much as we do. It's really been awesome to sit and see executives of the higher ilk, again, I won't name their names, but sit there and play the game and go, the same thing as the press said, I want to keep playing, I want to play more. So that's been really cool. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be hitting all the cool spots, I hope, this year.
Nice.
Upcoming.
We'll have to
depending on where we have to be for certain things, because the game is still in development, so we won't hurt development for the sake of PR.
Yeah.
So if we're still in a crucial stage of development, we're not going to drag developers away, and it's disingenuous, I use that word again, to just send PR people to promote a game. You need to have the people that have actually worked on it there to help promote it as well. So if they're not available because they're still working on the game, we just won't show up at some place for that.
Right, I gotcha. Gonna need to get you in touch with Kevin over at Rare Drop for GCX down in Orlando. They're they do a lot of stuff with the St. Jude and all that stuff. He's the CEO over there, and he's we actually met playing LOTRO.
Well, cool. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll even extend the invite to you here on the stream if you want to check out our game and kind of learn about it. I'm happy to when we're ready to let public viewing, but even behind the scenes we have an external, or what we call an external council, where we have people that are already playing the game helping us.
Gotcha.
Sign up for it, and you get to check out the game. You don't get to talk about it till we're ready, but by the time we're ready, then you could be one of the first ones to be out there and doing things. And
well, that sounds like a good
as
idea.
You know me from the LOTRO days, streaming is important to me, and so I want to get on the ground floor of that stuff, as you know, with this game as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
It's a fun game to play. It really
Put me
is.
in, coach.
It's the living world is one of the things I'm most excited about. Unlike other strategy type games where you play on tiles, they're all little hexagon tiles. Our maps and worlds are completely unique, and the cities and areas that you build grow based on the decisions you make and everything like that. So it becomes like you look at your citizens and you get to see everything that they do, and you can even click on them and they'll tell you if you're doing good or bad. It's really kind of funny.
All right, I dig that. Yeah, I could get behind somewhere I can actually like. Okay, little inside secret about myself here is with games that have been out for a long time. I'm horrible about it with MMOs specifically. Like if I don't get in at the beginning of it, I'm very horrible about picking them up. So that
That's normal.
Yeah, because you just feel like you're always behind, you know. And we are not gonna kill this guy because we are stuck in the wall here, and I can't make it through. Can I make it through? Can I make it through? Can I make it through? Oh, let me get a heal of some kind. Get him out of there. Can I get him out? Can I get him out? And pull him away from those people. This is very bad. This is very bad. Let people actually get through the wall. They're not gonna go through the wall. Come on, he's got 650k. Just do it. Do it. Finish this.
Nope, you're doing it the hard way.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he reset. And let's see how many people are gonna leave after that. That'll be fun. That's why don't we have a tank? Because we don't. Oh man. But yeah,
you don't need a tank anyway, it's fine.
apparently we do.
Yeah, you're doing this hard mode. That's fine.
Let's see who has this.
But all joking aside and all that other ranty marketing crap aside, I'm glad you're still streaming. I'm glad you're doing good over here, and
yeah, man.
It's been like I said on Twitter or X or whatever the hell we were supposed to call it. It had been a minute, so I wanted to stop in and say hi and just chat and
Yeah, man. Kind
of be like old days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we haven't talked about the Patriots, anything pumpkin spice or CrossFit. So, I mean, we got a few more hours here.
Pumpkin spice and CrossFit can go both do things that I can't say nicely.
Here,
well,
I
actually,
got-
that kind of covers the Patriots.
There
too,
you go.
So.
Yeah. Oh, hey, but I mean, they won this week and that helped me out, so I appreciate
that's
it.
terrible. That's terrible. They just hurt their draft. Like, hey, let's polish a turd in the last 3 games. Come on now. Let's just get that high draft pick and.
But you helped the bank.
hopefully
I
do
mean, you're
something with it,
already pretty
please.
low, so I mean, there's only one team with a lower record right now, right? I think it's
No,
just the
there's
Panthers.
a couple that we because they decided to win this week because let's again polish a turd. We are now projected to be either the 3rd or 4th pick in the draft.
Oh, that's not that bad then. Come on.
No, it's terrible. If you need a quarterback, the Patriots don't have a quarterback.
There's statistically first round overall picks are just they're 50-50.
Great. So trade it for 2 first rounds. Trade it for 2 first rounds because the whole team is in rebuild mode anyway. Because Bill Belichick, I love him. He's a great coach. He's a terrible GM. He needs to go step away, go coach Dallas or go coach San Diego, and have a good time.
He needs the retirement coaching job.
Get your
Up his
record
form.
and give somebody else a chance, please, 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 because he cannot pick an offense to save his life. The
No.
only reason he won anything is because Tom Brady was transcendent.
There you go. I mean, he did it in 2 different teams, so I mean, what was it?
Tom Brady saved his ass because he couldn't pick an offense, but Tom Brady could throw to a wet sack of potatoes and make it catch.
Yes, this
So-
is true. This is true.
He's a great defensive coach. He can still coach. Terrible GM. Leave the Patriots and let us pick somebody that can actually run an offense.
Because he was from Michigan. Okay, that took like 14 seconds for someone to say that.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
But no, I think let's see. Now I gotta look. Hold on. Let's see, league, and then.
And look, I don't even care. I'd be happy with number 2 for the Patriots because I'm not completely sold on Caleb Williams. I'm not sure if he's got the physical stuff, but I'm not sure if he's mentally there.
Well, let's see who's got. Let's see. You got the full schedule because the Cardinals are currently sitting in the 2nd spot. Who they got? Who they got next? Never mind. They play the Eagles next week.
Yeah, but the Eagles have been trash. They're 1-3 in their last 4.
They're not Cardinals bad though.
Oh well, yeah, they're not Patriots bad, but if the Eagles lose to the Patriots, they should just call it in and just say fuck it, we're on to next year.
Yeah. So yeah, right now you have Panthers, Cards, Commanders, and Patriots. You got 2, 3, 4, and 4 wins. Yeah. So
They're all terrible. Get the highest pick. If you don't believe in the quarterback, trade it for a pick this year and a pick next year and rebuild the team.
well,
Good Lord.
sadly,
Terrible.
my quarterback is rather fragile apparently. So it's unfortunate. Joey B, Joe Burrow.
Oh, well, he's not fragile. He just doesn't have an offensive line to let him stand up for more than 3 seconds.
I mean,
Or he doesn't know how to get down when it's
well, I mean,
time to run.
he had a. Oh yeah, well that's a different story. Aaron Rodgers even told him like go down, but no, his injury this year was non-contact and it was on the practice field in camp when he can't get touched.
I can't say a damn thing because there's been at least 3 times in my life where I have pulled a muscle in my back playing video games.
I don't think you're in peak physical condition like one of these guys.
The 3rd time it happened, I was actually going to the gym 5 days a week.
Oh, that CrossFit got you.
It kind of made me go, well, wait a minute, the gym ain't helping here. Why the hell am I going?
Because you weren't doing CrossFit, man. It's just like the good old days, man.
I hate CrossFit. I hate it so much. Let's go to a gym where aggressive dogs will bite at your feet the whole time you're trying to work out harder than you ever should. Yes, sign me up.
Just put me in, coach.
Yes, please.
Oh,
Look, the
man.
garage door is open. That means we're hardcore.
Oh my god.
Good gosh.
Uh,
Holy moly.
but no,
love those
he
sports.
just the wrist thing this year, the calf thing, I mean, he's had.
I mean, I don't know. Tom Brady only blew a knee once in his entire career, but I mean, I'm not saying he's soft, but maybe.
Yeah, he had a few injuries that he played through. He didn't have just. I mean, they weren't major ones like the knee, but
Yeah, I mean, you can only do what you can do, especially if you're getting 300-pound linemen thrown at you on every other play.
oh, it's crazy now. Is like defensive linemen they're built different now, man. They are not like just the run stuffing 350-pound dudes. Now they're 6'5", 270, lean as hell, and are running. Who is the one that he got drafted super high this year, and he was actually running a 40 that was faster than Patrick Mahomes. I was like, you got a defensive end that can run faster than a quarterback? That's terrifying.
The Eagles. I think that was the one because they had a super high draft pick this year.
I don't know. They're just like it's terrifying. Like you're talking about a man that large that can run that fast. Like God. No thanks.
And still, most offensive linemen are dudes that are like wrestling team cast-offs or the dude that they're pulling off the street, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, just the run stuffers, man.
It's crazy.
They're good at blocking the lanes just because they take up the lane.
Yeah, it's just like I can stand it. Like, if I was a smart coach, and I'm not, obviously, and I'm sure that somebody else thought of this, but like, I would get me some sumo wrestlers.
There you go, just block the lanes, man.
Front line of just stand here and hold this dude here.
Hold the line.
All you gotta do. And it just logically it makes sense to me. I know obviously it hasn't worked because they'd all be doing it, but
yeah, I don't know,
that just
dude.
seems-
It's
makes
crazy.
No sense. Like a bunch of 500-pound men just standing there, just dig in and stop them from going forward.
No, because then you'd get the defensive ends that are super quick then, and those guys couldn't turn that fast. So, and then
So
they
you just get the lightweight ones then. There's little guys that do that stuff too that have super quick feet and they get out of the way of the fat guys and they just fall out.
Yeah, there
I'm
you go.
telling you, it's
Jordan Davis, 6'6", 341, and ran a
I'm
4.7.
going a full offensive line of sumo wrestlers from the biggest in the middle, scale them out that way, and just say don't let them by. You're good.
There you go. But there's the stat line right there. 6'6", 341, ran a 4.78. That is.
Was that the guy that went to the Eagles?
I don't know if specifically, but Jordan Davis.
Yeah, that's him.
That's too fast for that much mass, man.
Yes, it is. I don't know. I just this football season has been very disappointing for me as a Patriots fan, but having had 20 years of success, I guess I can't really bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the opposite end of that, being a Bengals fan, so we've been.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think of something nice to say, but
I mean, we have a team now.
oh yeah, I can't say nothing now. My team terrible when yours is really good. Ish.
New guy that was 6'5", 335, could bench 500, and was so fast. He was trying out for the Vikings, still didn't make the cut. And you're new here. Oh, welcome. Good to meet you. Yeah, that's a big man. 6'5",
Yeah.
335. Good lord.
I guess with football though, you got to be able to apply it to something where you don't have to just like an offensive lineman
Right.
holding onto a jersey or a defensive lineman just punching people in the face to get by them. You gotta kind of have a little bit of skill mixed in, I suppose.
Did you watch the Ravens Niners game last night?
Bits and pieces.
So there was a play where Deebo Samuel was actually like running out of the backfield, and he ran straight into a linebacker, and the linebacker just fell over. And
I didn't see that.
Oh my god, that was incredible. Like, you want to talk about a dude that's built different? Like,
Yes.
everybody else would have been the other way around, but
I love that. I love that. Just seeing like that linebacker's like, man, he's a receiver. He's coming at me. I'm not gonna do. He ain't gonna.
nope. Just pancaked.
You just got introduced to a new universe. Thank you.
What is happening here?
that.
We now have a tank, and I'm still dying. I just want.
Is your DPS not doing its job?
Well, that would be me, but I'm trying to survive.
Well,
Because you can't DPS when you're dead. Those are the rules. I didn't make them up.
get better, man.
I know. I mean, he's only got 25% less. Oh, we've been at it for 4 minutes. Oh. Now I've actually been pretty fortunate with the streaming stuff. I've been helping a couple of the Bengals with their streams. It's actually kind of fun.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's it kind of happened out of the blue too, and it was just funny. I actually was helping one of them before I started streaming today. He was having some weird audio issues, and I was able to get that sorted out for him, which was cool.
Cool. Audio issues? What?
Yeah, dude, it's just terrible. Audio is the worst thing, and it's crazy too, because you know, in streaming, people will stomach bad video, but they will not tolerate bad audio. It's just, those are the facts. Oh my god, we're done. Thanks.
Absolutely not. Bad audio will ruin a stream, because if you can't hear what the streamer's saying, why am I watching it? That's part of why I'm watching it. And
Yeah.
it's one of our audio director and our audio team at the studio. They actually helped me for all the videos you see on our YouTube channel for Ara. They are all in my office in my uniquely set up audio system. We'll say, because we weren't prepared for the video requests that Microsoft had suddenly said, we want to do video dev diaries every 2 weeks.
Ooh.
And it was like, oh, well, crap. We're a tiny studio. We don't actually have an audio room for this, so let me throw my office together and make this work.
Hey man, you can use mine. Mine's pretty good, man.
It was funny. It was. We did a video on the music for the game several months back, and because our music system is completely unique to strategy games, and the fact that everything is not MIDI, it's completely whether an orchestra or individual singers. We didn't do any digital audio in the sense of like taking just pre-recorded stuff. Everything was recorded in person, even through the pandemic. Our design director is an opera singer, and she sings a lot of the leads on the game. And our audio director, he's a BAFTA award winner. Sorry, I'm getting into marketing again. God damn it. Sorry.
We're friends. It's okay.
But anyway,
I digress.
I digress. Sorry, I've gotten back in that habit again. of every time I get onto something where I'm talking about the game, like I did. I had my whole family over for Christmas, and we were just having regular conversations, and all of a sudden I went into the marketing spiel of my game.
It happens.
And
And I'm looking at, this is like my wife's grandparents are, thankfully still here. So they're sitting here in the living room, and her parents and, a couple other family members, and they're all sitting there and they're looking at me like, what are you going on about? I'm like, sorry, my bad.
I mean, it's need to know, and you need to know. So
hey, look, when we're making trailers or we're doing any kind of marketing stuff, like the videos on the YouTube channel. Stop it. When we go through the editing process, I show them to my wife first, and she watches them like 4 or 5 times before they make it out to the public, and she's like, I hate this video.
There you go.
I've watched it so many times. I'm sick of watching it.
The best critic right there.
Yeah, but she'll tell me, she's like, you look like a fool there. Stop it. Have him take that shot out, or, why did you say it that way?
Look what you prompted. Speaking of YouTube, there you go. If you guys are new here, make sure you're clicking on that link and subscribing to my YouTube channel.
Hey, look at that. I set up a good segue for you.
There you did. Actually, I sent you a picture of my current office. It's much better than my old one.
My office is chaos right now, because in not only do I have a 5-year-old who I don't have a door on my office, so he comes and goes as he pleases.
There you go.
I also have 5 cats.
That's too many.
No, well, yes, but no. I love all my kitties. We had 6, but because my wife and I were like the Brady Bunch, but with cats. We met and we each had 3 cats, and we had to bring our families together with kitties.
I have one. So, that's too many.
No. So, but anyway. But anyway, I have 4 litter boxes in my office.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm about to redo my office anyway. It's chaos mostly because I've got all my construction equipment in here.
Gotcha.
Because I'm about to. It's carpeted floor right now. I'm going to tear out the floor, put hardwood down, and one whole wall is going to be shelves. I've got a nice new desk. And a bunch of other stuff I'm putting up. I've got my old TV, which is I'm staring at the background at right now. That one is 65 inches. I'm gonna put up like a 80 something TV up there.
Just make it the whole wall. Come on, commit.
I thought about it, but no. That one's too expensive. And then I've got my Tom Brady autographed jersey and my Patrice Bergeron autographed jerseys already framed to hang up to be on either side of the TV. And then my office corner here, I have a full wall of whiteboard, and that's just gonna stay because I need my whiteboard. But it's cats. The reason I'm basically segueing into the cats is I have to take the carpet out because cats suck, and I need to not have carpet with cats.
Yeah, we have like small little rugs, and I don't know, our cat, he's very broken. And wait, oh. Yes. I don't know. He's been broken for years. He eats, like, we have to like give him like the smallest amount of food or he'll throw it up. Like, taking him to the vet a bunch of times. They're like, don't know what's wrong, can't find anything wrong with him, blah 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 blah. Done all kinds of tests, changed foods, changed you know like the vertical bowls, so they're like you know, not pinching their neck when they're, we've tried all the stuff at this point, and you just he'll eat too much and throw up, and he will find the only, like, if you have an area rug down, he'll go puke on that. Like, I have an area rug down in my basement in my office. He does not come down here at all. I will, on the opposite side of the basement is where the litter box and all that stuff is. I can smell it when he does his business, and I know he's going to come in here and try and throw up afterwards, and then he sees me, and then he goes and finds someplace else carpeted in the house to throw up.
They like the carpet because it makes them feel safe, and they like to barf in places that they don't normally go, and they're assholes, and
they
and
are vindictive too.
Yes, they're very mean, but when you get one to lay on your lap, or like with my wife being pregnant right now, I unfortunately, a couple months back, one of my 3 that I brought, she passed away. And the other 2 cats that I have, all they do is lay on my wife's stomach, protecting the baby.
There you go.
And they just lay on it, and as soon as they lay across her, they just start purring. And it's super cute, but she's like, it's so hot.
Yeah. Actually, I need to get back to one of these questions here. I saw it a minute ago. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go?
I know the one you're talking about. It's from your new subscriber.
Yeah, what's your LOTRO
story?
Yep, that's it.
I started playing in 2006 during beta, bought 3 lifetime accounts, took hiatus for a few years, hitting it hard on Landerall server again. I'm loving finding LOTRO streamers.
Well, I'm one of the, like, OG streamers. So
yes, you are.
Freelord knows this all too well. Because I bugged the shit out of him.
Yes, you did.
But hey,
daily.
It wasn't daily. It was weekly. Maybe
Bi-weekly. Oh no, not even bi-weekly. No, you hit me twice a week.
Yeah, just
You
reminder.
hit me like Monday and Friday. Be like, oh, maybe you'll check your email more on Friday than you did on Monday.
Hey, that was a fair. You know, I got stuff done. You know, you're a busy man. I just had to make sure it got done.
No, you know what? I can say, it wasn't that I didn't. Hold on a second.
You gotta think about how you was.
There are extenuating circumstances to my reply rate.
Yeah.
But that being said, part of those extenuating circumstances were also mine.
That's all good.
Towards the end of my time there, and it probably led to me being part of the layoffs, is I was burnt out.
Sure.
And I needed a minute. So I got what I needed to get done. I didn't fight as hard as I should have fought for certain things, and I put that on myself. And I needed, it was, you know, at that point, 12 years of doing that stuff, the same thing every day.
Yep.
I just needed I needed a second, but at the same time, when I left and I got a break and everything was, you know, I was like, all right, I feel good and everything like that. I worked a couple other odd jobs in between. You know, like I built some websites for some companies and you know, started their social footprints and stuff like that, and it wasn't the same, and I was like, I feel like I'm missing something. And I went to work for a real estate company for like 6 months, and it was the worst experience of my life. And I don't care that they listen and they can take a long walk up a short pier. I don't care. these people, they were like, we have 1,800 members on our Facebook page, and you need to be available to answer every question they have with full knowledge of real estate, 24/7.
That's
And
awful.
I looked at them and I was like, what? I was like, I'd never worked in real estate before. I know y'all hired me and I'm cool. I'm happy to learn it, but you know, I'm 3 months in and they're expecting me to know everything about everything. And again, 24/7. Like, no.
Yeah, it's worse than what you were doing.
Yeah, I was like, no, this is you trying to make me like not want to do this job anymore.
Right.
So we amicably parted ways when I went in for my 6-month review, and I was like, no, I'm good. See you later.
Yeah.
And coincidentally enough, the pandemic hit
There
right
you go.
after that. Like literally the next month, everything went into lockdown.
Yeah, it's so crazy to think about that. It was already almost 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years in March.
I know it's ridiculous. It seems like a lifetime, but at the same time, it's like
We
God,
just got out of it, you know, like.
Yeah, I still see it. I still feel it.
Yeah.
I'm thankful to be in a progressive line of work where people actually took stuff seriously and all that. But no, so I took that. The pandemic was really when things hit me, and I had to step away from everything. I had
Yeah.
dealing, like I would answer helping somebody do a website, and I would, hey, I'll help you manage your Facebook page, and somebody would make not even a stupid question, but like just a basic question that you'd be like, oh no, I'll answer that, no problem, I'll help you out. And I was like, I want to murder you for asking that question. I would like to see your house burn to the ground and watch you scream. Like, I was like, holy crap, I need to step away.
Chat, for those of you who have not been around for a long time, this was a fairly regular occurrence, by the way. These type of chats with Freelorn.
Yes, I get on sharing moods. I'm sorry if I'm throwing everything off.
No, I miss this, man. This was the fun stuff.
I get on sharing moods. And look, I'll even say, and it's something I'm not super proud of.
Oh, be careful.
No. I can admit it now because my workplace knows it, and
All right.
well, there's nobody in my life that doesn't know it. I enjoyed the sauce a little bit more than I should have back in the day.
Okay.
And I don't enjoy the sauce anymore. We'll just put it that way.
There you go.
Yes. So I used to share more than I needed to from time to time. I attribute it to that, and I'm okay with admitting that.
Nah, there's nothing wrong with it,
I'm
though.
also okay with admitting that it's been a long time since I have enjoyed an adult beverage.
There you go.
But I'm actually really proud of that. That was a decision I made for my children.
Yeah,
And
I can respect that, man.
I was not as good of a father as I could have been to some of my older children. So, I made the choice that enough was enough, and I'm over a year.
That's good, man. Hell yeah.
So without nothing, I mean, I thought I could moderate with not drinking hard liquor stuff, but I said no.
Nah, I mean, sometimes that's what you
stop
gotta
it
do
all.
is just all of it. Yeah, I was never huge into it, you know. And Just very, very social, casual at best. But I don't know. It's funny because you give me the option of like, hey, here's you know, whatever your favorite beer or, you know, mixed drink or whatever is, and it's like, or here's a Mountain Dew. I'm like, hey, give me a Mountain Dew. I'm good. I'm fine.
I am an introverted extrovert. So I prefer to be, I think I got that right, but it might be the other way around. I prefer to be alone by myself, just with my family and everything.
But once you get started, yep.
Once I get started and I'm out in public and I'm talking to people, a switch flips and I will try to be the center of attention, the king of the room, so to speak, and put on all that. But the anxiety that came with that was harder for me to handle than I thought it was. And so I had to learn. That was part of the step away was to figure out
some reflection and some looking inward.
Yes, and figure that out, and also getting an ultimatum from my wife.
That's important too.
She was basically like, "You got me or that?" And I was like, "Oh, well, you win. I'm good. I like you. I don't necessarily like this other thing, so I'm gonna stick with you." And so that was that. But it took me a minute, and I think it was the trip to Germany and then followed up by Paris Games Week, where I had to get on stage.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Present on stage, where I coming back from Paris, it was just me and our design director Michelle, and we were sitting on the airplane as you had a gigantically long flight back. I said to her, I think I feel more comfortable now. I think I can start putting myself out there again and doing the stream stuff and taking that next step of dealing with that pressure that I thought at least had caused all the problems before. So it was a good trip, and I got to fly with Bernie Sanders, which was
sure, that was pretty fun.
I mean, that was the win right there. I was just like, hey, I'm on a plane with Bernie Sanders. I also got to see the Northern Lights as we were flying back, because we had to do this extra loop over like high up coming back because of the storm. So I got Northern Lights. I got the Bernie Sanders. This is like a win-win for me.
There you go.
And I said, you know what, I need to, and that led to that last Dev Diary, because that one was filmed after the France trip.
Okay.
Because they wanted me to do one, and I was like, nope. And said, you know what, it's time.
Dude, that's you know, I'll certainly throw this out there for you as well. Like, you know, because I have been doing this for so damn long at this point, I have made my fair share of mistakes and researched a absolute shit ton with streaming and content creation and all that stuff. If you ever need anything, give me a shout. Even if it's just a bouncing idea, I am a DM away.
Oh, absolutely. And again, now it all kind of ties together into what I talked to you about a little bit earlier. Is the, you know, you were there with me for Lotro.
Yep.
I'm gonna, you know, you willing, I'm gonna drag you along with me for Aura. So
yeah, little olive branch there, huh? Like just to...
you know, I mean, while I was not as communicative as I should have been in the interim, I did appreciate how aggressive, I guess, you were. and how much you were really into it, and I think, you know, that is an admirable quality in somebody, especially somebody doing the streaming, is you put in the work. So I'd like to drag you along for another one if you're willing.
Yeah, man. That's it's just funny because it's like, you know, with any type of content creation that, you know, somebody, like, I always say that someone is taking seriously, because there's obviously many different avenues that people take with it, and I would definitely consider it that I take it seriously. Like, I don't want to put out a bad product. That's why I bugged Twitch for a long time, and just even this last TwitchCon, I finally got up to nerve and was, you know, talking to some other creators that were a little further along than I was, you know, and then okay, now we're not lagging there. Nope, we are. Okay, cool. And, you know, actually talking to some of the engineers and got myself into some programs where we could do some stuff. So, you know, it's just, I finally felt comfortable enough to do some stuff, you know. And it's like, I've had some reassurances from other people that, like, dude, you know what the hell you're doing. Like, you're really good at it, you know, hammer it home. I'm like, so yeah, I've always kind of joked that, you know, streaming LOTRO for the last 10 years now has been practice for the big game. Just because there's so much other stuff going on.
You ain't necessarily wrong. I mean, it's
oh, that's gonna hurt.
It's one of those things where it's like, yes, there are some creators who have come out and they instantly hit, and then they're terrible and everybody goes away. I even back when you were doing stuff when I was still working on LOTRO, I enjoyed watching your streams. I still, you know, it was one of those things where it was, I'm not watching it because I have to watch it.
Right, yeah.
But, you know, it was, you also were playing an MMO that was, it's not that exciting to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're not into Lord of the Rings, or you just genuinely like MMOs, like, this is some boring stuff to watch. Like,
it's not a WoW that has all of those viewers and everything. It was, but you stuck to it. You learned, and you got better, and you got better, and you keep getting better, and you know, that's to me at least, that's bigger than the guy that gets on and just plays the super popular game just to get views.
Yeah.
That's, you know, so that's part of, like, again, that's part of why I reached out, you know, even though, you know, I had been away. It's like streamers like yourself, especially you, who I was there with from day one. Yeah. You know, I want you to be a part of the stuff that we're gonna do, and there's some super cool stuff that we have planned, and so, you know, if you're into strategy games, or if you want to learn to be into them and be that ground floor guy again, we can definitely help make that happen.
Well, that sounds like fun to me, because, like, I actually talked to a couple people at work about it, like, frequently, because they're very much into their Civ 6 campaigns, and it's like, I talked to him about it, and I find, like, I watch their streams and stuff, and I find it intriguing. It's just like I said, at some point I was always, I just get too hyper focused on this thing, and, like, I just don't pay attention to anything else. So
they're multitasking games, so they're, but
yeah,
if you get in, if you can learn, especially playing, you know, against the computer, and you set it to which is what I did, set it to the easiest settings, and you get in, just learn the nuances of, and it's really actually not that much, like, honestly, there's less that I focus on in a strategy game than I do in an MMO when you're in a raid, where you're focusing on, oh, I gotta heal this guy, or I gotta make sure I'm doing DPS to this, or I'm clicking on this skill. In a
like this chaos
game,
that's on my screen right at the moment.
yes, exactly. Like, this is, like, to me, that was harder for me to learn than it was for a strategy game. And for a strategy game, because you know, you make 2 or 3 decisions per turn, maybe, you know, a couple more depending on what you're doing. But then, you know, it's wait and react. But one of the, I'm going to turn on my marketing thing for a minute here. One of the things for Aura that's really cool is we do what's called simultaneous turns. So everybody instead of waiting, like you make your turn and then you gotta wait for everybody else to make their turn. When you make your turn in a single player campaign, for example, you make your turn, the resolution is instantaneous.
Okay.
It's not like if you've ever played a Civ before, then you like, especially later in the game, you'll be sitting there and you'll be like, I have to wait 5 minutes for the computer to decide what it's doing because it's evaluating everything that's going on in the map and all that stuff. With our game, it's instantaneous every single time. Like, so what would be, what like for many strategy games, you will play 3 hours and you'll get through 15 turns.
Okay.
Because it's so like click. I gotta wait for this guy and I gotta wait for this. The computer's taking whatever. Excuse me. With Aura, you click that button, your turn comes up next, and you're reacting. Everybody has to make their turn at the same time, and when you click it, the computer calculates it and turns it around just like that.
Okay.
And so. Like I played a game today actually, and I made it through, I don't know, 200 turns in about an hour.
Okay. Like how long is it? How long is it? Like how many turns is like a full campaign?
It depends on the game. Most strategy games you're talking 400 to 500 turns.
Okay.
But it depends. Again, it depends on the game, and that's nothing. That's not reflecting on how many turns it takes for Aura. But you know, you think of like a Civ 5 or a Civ 6, it's about 500 turns to resolution.
Okay.
On average. So, but with that, you know, you're talking in most strategy games, you're talking about a multi-day experience to complete one game.
Okay.
Whereas with our because our turn system goes faster, you know, you can still stretch it out if you really want to get into every little nuance and explore every little corner and do everything. But if you want to do a fast gameplay, you can get I get through a game in 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
But again, most of the developers look at me and think I'm crazy too. But it's that ADHD brain.
Yeah,
and
I feel that.
Click things fast. But you know, all right, marketing voice off.
You're fine, dude.
I know. I catch myself doing it again to family, friends, etc. I have multiple friends that work at GameStop, and I'm going in there going, "You should play this game," and they're like, "Dude, we don't sell PC games." I'm like, "Oh."
Well, doesn't mean you can't buy it. Doesn't mean you can't play it.
And our History Untold will be available on PC Game Pass. So if you just have PC Game Pass, you will get to play it. Sorry, marketing voice again. Yeah.
Hey man, it's just part of your delivery right there, you know. You just gotta. I don't want to do this.
I got somebody from our publisher or my office will see this stream, and if I don't get the pitches out, then I've done my job very poorly.
It's all good. It's all good. I need this to start.
But I
go.
will say, being able to go to Gamescom this year was amazing, and Paris Games Week. That was trips of a lifetime. To be able to go promote something you're passionate about.
Sure.
At venues like that. That was super awesome. German people were amazing. I got to check out some sites. I got to go to the Cologne Cathedral and spend some time there. And then when we went to Paris, I got to go through the catacombs.
Nice.
And see more dead people than I've ever imagined in my life.
Now, I won't say the name because I don't want to out myself, but somewhere over in Germany, there actually is a I want to say how I say it. Kind of like loosely related. There is still the remnants of a castle that has my last name attached to it. I do want to see that at some point.
Semi-famous.
No, I mean, basically what it looks like is left is like a fireplace, essentially. But you can kind of see the outskirts of where it was. But that's pretty cool.
That's something.
Oh, it's something.
That's something, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything like that, so you got a fireplace.
Hey, that you know of, man. You never know.
The only claim to fame I have in Europe is, or not claim to fame, but cool perk is I get to, because I'm third generation Italian, I am still legally allowed to buy property in Italy.
Yeah,
only people from third generation or lower are allowed to buy property. So if I really want to go retire in Italy, I can still do it.
I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So when I retire, if our history untold makes me gobs of money, then I will go retire to a villa in Italy and fancy non-alcoholic umbrella drinks.
There you can go. Do I need that? That?
So I did want to ask how overall, how did you feel like you're here? I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Oh.
And pull something out of you. How did you think your interview with Severlin, with Rob Severlin went? Did you get all the answers you wanted to get? Did you think it went well?
We never do.
Feel like it was overall a good experience, bad experience? Was he cagey or anything? Yeah, I'm gonna put you full on the spot.
No, that's fine. For honestly putting him on the spot, I think it was fine. I kind of know going into those things, having been in the game for a while at this point, I kind of know where things are going to go, what topics they're going to stray away from, what things they're kind of not going to talk about, and stuff like that. So I kind of gear those things appropriately at that point. I might poke one or two just to see, like, are we in that spot where we can talk about that yet? Okay, no, all right. But overall, I think everything was fine until I'd say right about the end. I feel like we kind of got off the rails because I hit kind of a hot button for him, which was the kind of classic servers, and correlating that to how Blizzard did theirs. And so I simply asked, like, if you had the resources, would you do it that way? And kind of getting the question back at me, like, realistically, like, is that is that something you would want to play? I'm like, well, yeah, like that's the game I fell in love with, you know, and it's the MMO that was Lord of the Rings Online, you know, Shadows of Angmar and into Mines of Moria. I mean, yeah, I'm going to look at that through rose tinted glasses, but in my opinion of the game and my experiences over 16 years, that was perfection. That was great, you know? So if there was an officially supported classic Shadows of Angmar server, like officially supported by the company, I'd be all over it 100%. Wouldn't even bat an eye at it. But I don't know. And you know, Maid of Lions asked the same question once on the forums. Is like, so you guys are telling me that you would want to play this game that doesn't have these fixes, these quality of life improvements, these things? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. You know, it's like, I don't know how else to put it. It's like, if that's the game that a lot of people played and fell in love with because it was the game it was. And you know, there's things that have to happen, right? You have to expand the game. You can't let it stagnate. You can't let it just sit there, and because you will lose people. So you do have to advance it, and that's cool. But you know, a server like that, a full like actual classic server, you don't really have to do much to. You just have to have it on and let people like, hey, it's going to go to level 50. You're going to get book 12 and that's it. Like, and that's, so you're going to get the Anuminos instances. You're going to get the Rift. You're going to get Heligrod. And there you go. Have fun. And, you know, maybe someday there's 5 people playing it and you shut it down. Or because look, I get that, you know, it costs money to have a server running. It's not cheap. You have to pay for that space. You have to pay for that resource allocation. You know, that costs money. And if that's not doing anything for you, you know, if you got 5 people playing that are, you know, and it has to be a VIP member, but so you're still getting money from it, but it's not doing anything from you. Yeah, you're not getting the return on the investment. So I get it.
Yeah, that's definitely it. There's some cost to it. There's
for sure.
You know, it's also the extra costs of and I can remember this from back in the day is like if that version of the game runs on 32-bit versus the game now running on 64-bit, and you're basically setting up a whole different server farm just to be able to run it on something like that, and then, you know, the upkeep, you know, it is definitely a cost versus
for sure
goodwill type of thing. The question is what is that number for a LOTRO or any of these other games? You know, if you're making so much money that you can offset that cost, or if you're an older title that maybe you don't make enough money to offset those costs. Like WoW can do it because I'm sure they can offset the costs. You know, something like that, but with a smaller population, you know, I get it. I'm the same way. I coming from working on Asheron's Call even before LOTRO, there's apparently, and I know nothing about these, and I will never condone them because I am a former Warner Brothers employee. But several Asheron's Call servers that are floating around, and I, you know, if that's what you love to do, that's what you love to do, and that's what you love to play, whatever iteration it was. But, you know, I do get why they're like, well, if only 100 or 500 players would play this server, it's not worth our money.
Yeah.
Or, given iterations and things that they've done, it may not even be possible.
Well, and that's what it's ultimately come to, is it's that the current game architecture, like the way it's set up now and the way the servers are set up now, is that a older code-based version of the game simply will not run. It won't.
Yeah.
And
You
so
can't and a lot of players I don't think understand that, and obviously you do, but it's just like you can't just throw up, hey, here's a save from 5 years ago,
right,
or 10 years ago, we'll just throw it up on some servers and make it work, and that's it.
Yeah.
If it was that easy, there'd be old versions of games everywhere.
well, I know the one private server for LOTRO that is exactly what I was talking about. You know, I believe it's book 12 or maybe book 11. And it basically, from what I heard about it, was basically reverse engineered off of a disk. So they just did it that way, and which, hey, more power to them. But
I won't comment on that.
but anyway, you know, like as far as the rest of the interview goes, it's like I said, I genuinely I like doing those because, kind of back to what we talked about at the very beginning of this, was the authenticity of it. You know, actually having somebody from the community asking questions versus someone on the team. And like, I always make sure to say, like, this is not a knock on Cord or anything like that either. And it's just, you know, hey, it feels a little bit more forced. You know, it's like, hey, we have to do this thing. Whereas, you know, I just shoot out a tweet and I say, hey, Rob, you want to do an interview? And he says, yeah. And then so we go to DMs and we hash out a time, and, you know, I shoot over to Cord a general idea of like, this is kind of the stuff I want to talk about, like day in the life of an executive producer. I want to talk about like how you felt the launch went of Corsair's Voombar. You know, if you can touch on anything that's coming in the future that you know about, that you're excited about. That's kind of the general. I'm not looking to do any gotcha things like, I gotcha now you're gonna look like a fool.
Trying to do a hit piece? What?
Yeah, like I'm not trying to get out there and say like, you know, now that I gotcha, if you don't answer this, you're gonna look like a fool. So I'm not, you know, I take a lot of pride in what I do as a creator, and I'm not gonna try to tarnish that by, you know, look like an asshole when I do interviews or something like that, and then lose that ability or burn that bridge to be able to do that in the future, because that doesn't make sense. So, but I think Rob does a pretty good idea, or does a pretty good job of really pushing what he can talk about, and that's why I wanted to hear from him of like, so what is the day to life of a executive producer? Like, tell me more about, you know, like I asked him, what does it look like, that role as compared to like a creative director? Because that's something that I've been very critical of LOTRO over the years, is not having that pillar of, this is our design philosophy. These are the principles that we stick to. And
it's important.
And it's very apparent with Lord of the Rings, unfortunately, because with I think Rob's the 5th executive producer, because you had Jeffrey, you had Kate, you had Rowan, you had sheesh.
It's MMOs are always difficult in that sense too, because people, especially in gaming, like to transition onto other projects. They
Sure.
like the challenge, especially at that producer level. You don't want to just sit there doing the same thing over and over again. But I do agree with that. Like having at least one person or one or two people that are in sync on the lifetime of the project with the design direction. Mm-hmm. It's important, because if not, whether it's an MMO, whether it's an online RPG, you know, like a Red Dead 2 or something like that, where they do the online stuff, or even, you know, like the game that I'm working on, it's like if you stray off too far from where you were going, you won't ever get to the finish line.
Right.
Or it'll just get really weird.
Yeah. And I think we crossed that bridge like too many times with this, and I don't know, like I always have to like preface when I talk about this stuff as like, this is still outsider looking in, you know, this is still from a player's perspective. It's like, you know, I've had the luxury of being able to talk to people on the team, whether it's been like, you know, yourself while you were on the team or after, you know, talking to Rob or talking to Cord or talking to Jacob when he was, I think he's back there now.
He is. As far as I know, he's still back. He's back there. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like being able to talk to and getting, you know, that the insider perspective versus just what we see, you know, and I think that's the important part of the developer player relationship is understanding both perspectives. And it's like,
absolutely,
well, hey, you know, as a player, you know, this new thing that you brought out, like, it's could be cool, but I don't understand it. I don't understand why I need to do it, other than you put in the table here, it shows that I can get the best gear from it, so obviously I want to do it, but I don't understand the process of doing this, and there's a lot of confusion around it because you just added it. There's no dev diary on it.
There's no context. It's just go
right,
do this thing,
right? And it's like
we said to do it,
right? Because it's the new thing, and so, you know, it's one of the things we talked about was, do you feel that there's a need for more clarity around the things that you're doing? And like, I don't know, doing more polls from the community that's more visible. Like, yeah, sure, you're taking feedback from Facebook and, you know, Reddit and the forums and all these things, but, you know, and you guys have the data that says like, well, players are doing X, Y, and Z while they're in the game, but is that a forced hand? You know, it's because we have to, because that's the only thing that'll progress our characters right now, is that, you know, like, what's the design philosophy there? And he was actually very candid with the Blizzard situation, with them opening, you know, something in Boston.
I was honestly surprised. Like, I knew from not obviously, but I knew from behind the scenes. I see the motion and who gets hired and who doesn't for a lot of these companies and everything like that. I was genuinely, honestly surprised that he said that.
Yeah.
I applaud his honesty on that one and just saying, look, man, there's competition here.
Yeah.
But competition is good.
Yeah.
And you know, that brings out the best in people. And so I'm okay with, like, in working in the Baltimore area, we have Firaxis, we have Bethesda, we have Big Huge Games, we have Oxide Games, you know, there's several other smaller studios, and so the competition is in my mind, that's a good thing, you know.
Sure.
Keep on your toes, because you know, as an individual, yes, you may love the game you're working on and everything, but you know, at the same time, you got to take care of your family. So if you do great work, you're going to go find yourself something that's better.
Right.
And if that company wants to keep you, then they're going to pay you what you deserve to get.
Right. No, we'll try to find a way, at least, you know, like, but yeah, so like, I think overall, like, I try to drive those conversations too, like a point where the question will lead into the next one. Something I've tried to get better at with that is, you know, like, not just, here, we're going to ask a question about, you know, lag and performance, and then we're like, well, tell me about your day. Like, you know, have it be a little bit more sequenced. And
you know, just, hey, what's going on in your world?
Yeah.
Hey, I just asked you why your game is terrible. So tell me about your day.
Well, it was great, and then I got on this interview and it went real bad. So, no, but I've asked around for some people, and it seemed, you know, generally well received. I poke around on some, and I feel a little, probably, of just a small amount of what you felt on forums and stuff like that, because I'll poke around some discords, and Yeah, there's some bad mouthing on me going on, and it's okay. Like I look for the feedback in it. You know, you gotta kind of wipe the shit off of it, but you'll find it.
It is what it is. If for especially for a creator like yourself, as long as people are talking,
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yep.
For community managers, a little bit, we want them to talk nice,
Right.
but as long as they're talking, even for somebody in my role, as long as people are talking,
Yeah.
that's you're winning right there. You get those metrics, you get those, conversations started, and even if somebody's bad mouthing your game, it's an opportunity,
Right.
to open a dialogue and see what you can do better, and a lot of game companies, a lot of community managers, a lot of people in general miss that opportunity, and they just look at the negative comments as, oh, it's a troll, it's a troll, it's a troll. No,
Right.
make it a conversation.
Yeah. There's truth in there some way.
There's people you can never make happy, but
Yeah.
make it try to make it a conversation at least.
Yeah, and that's something I've learned just in my years with like my real jobs is just like, one, you never know what's going on in somebody's life, and you might be the easiest avenue to take out their aggression or make them feel better about themselves and whatever. So I tend to not take things personally, because it's like, again, I don't know what's going on in their life. They don't know what's going on in my life, and this is going to be the stupidest segue here, but it's, or just kind of like a reference really, but did you watch Ted Lasso?
Of course.
Okay, so it is the dart scene in the bar, and it's being curious. It's like all those times those guys were making fun of me or whatever, not one of them was curious about me, and it's like, if they were curious, they'd ask a question. Hey, Ted, you like to play darts? Which my answer would be, yes, I do. Like, and it's, people are very quick to judge and be shitty when they don't know anything about you. They don't know that, I've played this game for 16 years. I've been streaming for 10 years. I stream at the shittiest hours possible because, I work a regular job, and then I come home and I'm a dad and I'm a husband. And then when they go to bed, that's when I get to stream. That's why I stream at 10 o'clock and go to work being a practical zombie. It's because there are priorities.
That's it. That's what I said. That family, same with my wife. Her time comes first. The kids' time comes first, and then I get my game time.
Yeah. And so, people aren't curious about that. They just assume like, oh, you're just a stupid streamer that, plays a 16-year-old game. And I was like, well, that's partially true. So, but that's just the reality. So, I don't know. I think, largely, I agree with what you said earlier as well. Is like, I don't think there's any developers out there that intentionally go into work and want to put out a shit product. Like, there are restraints. There's budgetary, there's timelines, there's
budget, there's
a million things
that are breathing down your neck.
Yeah, and depending if it's a
number of those things.
Sure. Is it a publicly traded company versus a private? If it's public, well, then you got shareholders to answer to. That's a whole nother layer that you got to worry about.
I won't name any names, but there was a certain first-person shooter-ish type game that involved vampires that came out not too long ago. I don't imagine that everybody that worked on that game said, I want to put out one of the worst games of the year.
Gosh.
It's every one of those people went in and did the best they could, but everybody sitting out on the outside that's never worked in a studio, and it's the same as a car industry or whatever field you work in. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what deadlines are put out, and you could sit there and look and go, man, they managed to put that product out under those constraints, holy crap, that's really good considering. And so, you know, it's remember there's always somebody behind there.
Yeah, there's a
that's
human
working
back
their
there.
butt off.
Yeah, then who knows, like, exactly what happened in their life, what happened to them this week. You know, are they putting out their best work right now? Maybe not, because something happened in their life that just get, you know, they just had the hardest 6 months of their life. You know,
That's why I can say, you know, like in the game industry, especially, we're one of the tenants we have is, and it was a big story for years and years, and it still happens. Is we absolutely are a no crunch studio. We will not make people work their overtime. We will not make people work on weekends. It is, you know, work life balance, and it's one of the great things about working at Oxide, is work life balance. When you know, whether it's 5, 6 o'clock, depending on when you get in the morning, you know, you work your shift, you are done. Don't look at your messages overnight. Don't look at it. None of that stuff. Please keep your family life, your work-life balance in place. And I truly believe that has made for a better product, because people are, I have not seen a lot of burnout. I mean, there's some.
I mean, yeah,
There's
it
always
happens.
some, no matter where
It
you work.
happens.
But people genuinely, like, when I go into the office, and the days I go into the office, people are happy. We have fun. Nobody's sitting there going, my life is going to end. I've been working on this piece of code for 14 hours straight.
Yeah.
It's like, at the end of the day, it's a video game.
Yeah.
It's a video game. It's a piece of art. Art takes time. Art takes interpretation. Art takes
Iteration.
iteration. The game that I've only been here at the studio here for just over 2 years, and the game that I started playing when I got hired to the game that I'm playing now is completely different.
Yeah.
And it's just, but without having to kill everybody to get there.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that I always talk about it, and it's something, again, because it's the player perspective, it's the outsider looking in, is with LOTRO, it always felt that there was some weird arbitrary deadline. It's like, you know, and I think
Marketing always had a deadline. Our marketing always has a deadline. You have to reach. Even with LOTRO, when I was there, and I won't open the kimono too much, but you know, there was always, we had a plan. When you start the year, it's like, we have to hit these monetary goals, and in order to hit these monetary goals, we have to put out X number of updates and
Right.
X number of, you know, have an expansion or this number of things. So it was always tough, because you want to be artistic, you want to make the most lore appropriate game possible, and the guys that were the designers and are the designers are working hard to tie everything into lore, but then you have to tie that all into, we have to make X amount of money in order
Right.
to keep it going.
Yeah, and I think that's what's always been interesting with it, is, you know, like, that was actually kind of what prompted this chat with Rob, was the staggered release of Umbar. And, you know, because you were there when Moria came out. I know you weren't maybe directly working on LOTRO at the time, but
Yeah,
like,
it was kind of hiding in the background, but
yeah, was that, you know, so we had, and that was just this big content dump at one time. Obviously, studio size considerably different at that time, like substantially different. We're in a different building, you know. So,
yes.
and I just, yeah, go ahead.
No, it was just, I don't know that a lot of people, even MMO players, understand the amount of work that these folks you know, it's Standing Stone and even at Blizzard and everything else that goes into making one of these games and updating it as much as they do. It's especially with the team sizes of some of the smaller, you know, like LOTRO and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is a massive undertaking, and I tip my hat to them to this day of how much content that they get done, considering especially knowing how much work goes into having to do it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You know, it's actually funny is I went, this was, oh, I can't, someone in chat will probably be able to tell me when it was, but on stream, I went through, it was before Umbar came out, so we still had Fate of Gundabad credits. I watched the entire credits from Lord of the Rings Online, and it was 2 hours of scrolling. And so, because it went through every version of the development team and all of the, you know, special thanks, all of the, you know, other studios that were involved, anything that was like, particularly during like Rise of Isengard, I remember there was a lot of stuff that was kind of like outsourced, like in art and whatnot. So yeah, I went through all of that, and it took 2 hours to actually watch the entire credits up through Fate of Gundabad.
It's crazy. I mean, from seeing the beginning, when being there when we bought the rights to the game from Vivendi,
Middle Earth Online.
yes, and how many people worked on just to get the version that we got from Vivendi to turn into LOTRO, to the you know, Mines of Moria, to how many people it took to get that out the door, and then the live teams that continue to do the updates. It's from going from the team size that I saw for Mines of Moria and for building the game itself to what I see the team now today doing. It blows my mind. I mean, MMO teams are some of the hardest working, most uncredited people in game development, and because you constantly have to go. You work on an RPG or even a strategy game, you know, once a strategy game goes out, you're like, oh, we're going to work on some expansion packs, and these guys are still going to work their butts off. I'm not trying to take away from my own team, but it's not like I have to have an update out next month because these people, the players, have already run out of good things to do.
Right.
It's like we have to come up with a whole bunch of new stuff and get it out next month or in the next 3 months, and then we have to keep doing that forever.
Yeah, you got a different layer of replayability depending on the genre,
and we have to constantly balance it because we're, you know, this group has figured out this new exploit, so we have to fix all of these exploits that these guys have figured out, and then they figured out this new meta that none of us have ever thought of before, because you're never going to think of everything, and it's just crazy. And I have, you know, having worked on MMOs, having worked on console titles, now working on strategy games, on, you know, all the games I've worked on across the years, MMO developers are a different breed.
Yeah, you have to be.
They knock it out, you know, every time, and all the people that complain and like that's it, or, you know, they're, you know, why didn't you do this, why didn't you do that, you know, you try to do what these guys do.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and so I'm super grateful for myself to have worked with some of the best MMO developers in the industry, the Alan Mackeys, the folks like that have you know, Rob and folks like that have just hit it out the park every single time. And people may be like, well, why didn't you put the whole thing out in this? It's like, do you know how much work it is
Yeah, that
to
was
get this out to where you can play it and it doesn't blow up every time.
right, and that was the big deal with the staggered release, and that was part of it. Is they lost people, and so I
Hey,
know.
Blizzard's a big company. They pay a lot of money. I don't blame
Yeah.
any of those folks that left. It's like,
No.
I've been working on the same thing for X number of years. I have an opportunity to go over here that's just across town and
Well, you think about
make
it
a better
too,
living for my family.
and they
I
get to
do it too.
learn, different tools, different engines, things like that. So like that just makes their resume that much better too. That makes them a better developer. They get to learn from other people.
Absolutely. We all got to still make a living. I mean, there's loyalty, and I loved being at Turbine and Warner Brothers for as long as I was, and had I not been a victim to layoffs, I'd probably still be there. But at the end of the day, you're still going to make money for your family too,
Yeah.
and do what's best for your career. Because if you're in the same place long enough, it's in odds are it might get boring. So let me take up a new challenge and do that. So again, those guys at Standing Stone, they're watching you play, and trying to catch up on LOTRO in the last couple of weeks. They've done a kick-ass job. I can't be prouder of those guys than I am, because when I left, I didn't, MMOs are weird like that, and you don't know how long they're going to last. And to see something I worked on that long ago is still going strong is pretty damn cool.
Yep. No, I mean, this is the big deal right now. It'll take a second for it to be on stream, but this section of the map that's being added, like down here in Umbar, but this big section, they have a big shiny new canvas to work with down here. So it's who knows what that's gonna bring.
Oh yeah, I mean, knowing Rob and those guys, it'll be something great, and you all that still play will have lots of fun.
Yeah.
I don't have time for MMOs.
that's the fun thing with that conversation too, was we were talking about Cord got to go out to the thing with Daybreak. They kind of did their year end and like forward looking thing, and so it was pretty interesting just getting to hear the perspective of like it sounds like they are excited about next year from just the process standpoint of, it sounds like things for them are going to be smoother, just operationally, which that can only bode well for everything else. If they're having an easier time organizationally and operationally, then that should just lead to better product. So
Absolutely, and there's always a transition when you go to new ownership. It everybody thinks, oh, 6 months and everything's fine. No, it can take years.
Yeah.
To streamline things, and for especially a bigger corporation like that to figure out where do you fit and what can you do with what you have, and if we give you a little bit more or whatever. It's so I think that's cool for them. I'm happy for them for that, and I think that LOTRO will live on for quite some time.
Yeah, so it's a strong IP, and that can do quite a bit.
Now, is there worry in the community, or was there worry in the community about Amazon's thing?
So yes and no. There's no middle ground on that whatsoever. There's like, I think that there are people that are concerned about the game, that it'll like pull too many people, and then that this game won't be able to continue, which I don't think that's the case. I think this game will still continue because there are people that don't want to play another game, period. But there are people, myself included, in this boat of, you're going to tell me that there's going to be now obviously we know literally nothing about this game yet. another Middle Earth that's open world that I can go run around like this one, and it being on an engine that potentially runs smooth because it's on a newer version of the Azoth engine that New World runs on, and I loved me some New World. I am definitely like, that's part of the allure for me for this game, is to just go run around and see the landscapes and stuff like that. Obviously I love doing dungeons and raids and PvP and all that stuff. It's great. I love doing that stuff, but sometimes I'll just run around and just look at the scenery. And I think that I think that anybody saying that that game will have no impact on this is incorrect in two different ways. One, I think you want it to have an impact on this game. To your point of talking about competition earlier, like that's a good thing. Well, there's another Lord of the Rings game on the block. Well, we got to make sure our stuff is on point, you know. And then also, absolutely, if there are the people that are, and this is going to strike a chord with some people, but you know, whatever. There are the people who are going to complain, regardless of performance or whatever, about Lord of the Rings Online. Go to that game and see if they do it better or not. And okay, you know,
those are tough, man. It's easy to say you're going to do something,
right?
It's hard to produce it.
Yeah. And now, you know, I know there's a couple people that have left SSG that are working over there now. They're currently working on New World. So I imagine as that project comes into more of a development cycle, they are going to transition from that because they already know the IP. They already have written stories and, you know, made dungeons and stuff like that. So they kind of have a leg up in that area. Maybe not.
And they have that Amazon money.
Yeah, they got that Amazon money, that's for sure. But see, and something that has intrigued me, like, and I to your point about the I'm using air quotes, aggressiveness from me. So, something I will always hammer home, whether it happens or not. I will always hammer home Twitch drops. You know, get more people looking at your product. I understand that is a large technical hurdle for them. They are working on things like two-factor authentication. They're working on a new launcher. They're working on their 64-bit servers, and all of these things would have to take place before that. They would just need to
modernize,
right? And so that's been a criticism of mine for a long time, is like, hey, look, you have people that are doing some free marketing for you. Like, you know, I'm sitting here putting YouTube videos out and YouTube shorts and reels and TikToks and streaming and all that stuff, and, you know, bringing producers on and devs on and stuff like that. I'm doing that for free. Like, you know, so leverage it. You know, that's the thing.
MMOs
leverage it.
Have been proven that you can get viewership.
Right.
You know, I won't badmouth anybody individual, but there's no reason your MMO can't get a lot more viewers, which brings in a lot more revenue for you because they'll watch it and they'll want to go play it.
Right.
But you gotta capitalize on it.
Yep. And that's why I use the term leverage it. You know, it's like, it's, you know, I'll throw out a real, like, just basic thing because we did it. You know, we did it with codes. You know, it's like, is a generated, you know, 500 LOTRO point code gonna hurt you bad enough that you're gonna get more people looking at my stream to bring more people into the game potentially? Probably not. That's not gonna kill you.
We do it. We're doing it now. We're doing PC. We do PC Game Passes giveaways every single Friday on our social channels. We do a PC Game Pass giveaway. You know, that's a free month of getting to play anything you want. Does it hurt the bottom line overall beyond the reach? No, not at all. It's totally worth it to get that reach going.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, like I said, that's why I've been so adamant about drops. It's just like that is such a good way to leverage the people that are making content, and the pushback or the holdback has always been, it's like, well, if we do something like that on Twitch, we have to be able to do something like that on YouTube or whatever. I was like, well, if they don't support that type of thing, then no, you don't. You know, it's like, I mean, you have to leverage the tools that you have available, and that tool is Twitch right now. So.
Use what you have available, and if it works, then you will find the tools available in other locations after it works on the first one. It's you know, growth. That's how growth works. You're not just going to turn the switch and everybody's going to like it and everybody's going to watch it. But if you do it on one medium and somebody notices and they go, hey, I'm going to do it on this medium, and then we'll give you the same deal that we gave that guy on that medium, and then so on and so forth, and it organically grows. That's how it's works.
And what kind of has me a little still hopeful for that for Lord of the Rings is the fact that it is still Daybreak, because Daybreak has games that do leverage drops. And I actually spoke to their senior community manager when I was at TwitchCon, because he was out there, and it sounds like in a roundabout way, this is where I get to say I can't talk about stuff yet, which that's fun. There are things that are being worked on for creators for some games, and that's exciting, you know, and that is just something else that is going to make that creator feel valued doing what they're doing. And, you know, you can always argue that a streamer, you should be doing it for the fun of it. Well, I do.
It just, you could argue that 5 years ago.
I mean, you can argue it now still. Like, I don't even care.
You can, but you find, you know, every streamer starts out doing it for the fun of it. But, you know, there's a lot of you that monetize and turn it into more work. And if you're not understanding that streamers are monetizing at this point, that creators are monetizing at this point, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's on you. I'm sorry that you're not paying attention, but you know, you guys, you know, you put in the work, you put in the hours, you should get something from your hours. I mean, yes, you get the enjoyment of playing the game, and if you're that type of person that enjoys engaging with others, that's you get that reward from that too. But time is, you know, especially nowadays where everything is what it is, time is money, and time is away from family. Time is not doing other things that you could be doing. So, you know, you're putting this time to entertain people and engage with people. It's okay to want to grow that and make a little bit here and there.
For sure. Yeah, and that's I think that's what, like, a lot of newer games, like, you're seeing it, you know, right off the rip. And I mean, that's a very you know, that's one of the things that anything from Amazon Game Studios is going to have an advantage on, because, well, it's kind of their it's their company, and it's you watch that list when that game comes out, everything's going to be on the top. It'll be fine. Right. And you know, it's just, again, it's also a strong IP, and now that the rights holders have changed, they've very openly said, we want to make money, and they didn't buy one of the strongest IPs in the world to not make money.
Absolutely not. That would be silly.
Yeah, and you're gonna have some failures along the way too, like Gollum game.
I'm not gonna say nothing about nothing.
I feel bad for anybody that was involved in that. That was just not a good situation at all.
I did not personally play the game, so I cannot comment on that.
I watched enough to know I didn't want to play it.
I can say, as a former Warner Brothers employee, I loved Harry Potter, and I thought that game was super fun.
Oh, it's
and
Hogwarts Legacy?
I enjoyed Mortal Kombat 1, and so I will also say that was super awesome and enjoyable, and I love all of my friends, former friends and family at Warner Brothers Games.
Well played, sir.
Yeah, don't burn no bridges. Don't burn no bridges.
Do you have a post-it note on your screen? Just
Yes.
when this comes up, say that.
I have it's right next to my disclaimer of make sure to mention how great our partners are and how much fun we have. Yeah, no, I really like the folks, the Harry Potter. I really did enjoy that one. I really did. I thought they did a great job.
Yep.
Same with Mortal Kombat. I still have friends that work in both studios, and I thoroughly enjoyed both games, and I thought they did a great job on them, and no lip service or anything to that. I really did think they were great, so I was super happy for those teams and all my friends that still work there. I always like the gaming industry. Even this year we've been through some tough times with layoffs and other things, so I always like to see my fellow compatriots being successful and doing well.
Absolutely. Oh, now they want more people in here now. Okay. This is well, this should be a throwback for you.
Oh Lord. And again, I apologize for keep throwing on my marketing voice. It's old habits die hard.
Doesn't bother me at all, good sir. Not at all.
I've been practicing for a little while now. I've been keeping it, under wraps, but we've done a lot of video shoots lately, and I've had to turn it up a bit. And again, Paris Games Week, I got to go on stage for screaming fans and do all that, and that was super fun. But it was like, holy crap, I forgot about this.
I actually have not done this since the stat squish. This actually kind of hurts.
Don't get killed.
I'm gonna try not to. I make no promises. I am a champion after all. That's what I do,
Didn't used to be that way.
What?
Champions weren't always dying.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Come on, man. We're frontline. We're not those hunters sitting in the back, just pewing. There, I died. I died for you right there.
Super hunters.
Did that one deliberately though. It's because you said something.
Nice job.
Yeah, I thought so. This was such a great raid. It really was.
I do miss my weekly streams where I just played like a fool.
Everybody giving you crap about using your keys to turn and
I played old school. That was just it. It was, I'm gonna come in here and play it like I played Acheron's Call in 1999. That was the whole point of it, and I miss it. It was super fun. I'm looking forward with this game to be able to do those streams again and just sit out here on a random night and just be like, I'm gonna stream the game and let you guys make fools of me.
There's something fun about that,
Absolutely. But now again, I have the support of Microsoft, so I get to do it with higher production values this time.
No. Why does everybody want me to tank? fine. Switching to single target. F that. Yeah, I mean the good thing will be that, like I said, I do have a couple buddies at work that's kind of their thing is strategy games, so I'd be able to partner up with them and have a good time.
Maybe they can teach you some things.
Probably a thing or two.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you talk to them, I would say just ask them, like, do you like, whether like Civ 5 or Civ 6, because again, this is the team from most of the leadership team from Civ 5.
What's up, Big Ed?
So
Thanks for the raid, dude.
These are the folks that, Civ 5 still does really well as far as gameplay goes. So these guys, Civ 5 was always considered one of the best ones, and so we're just like, okay, let's make it better. Let's do the things we couldn't do. Like, one of the coolest things we have, marketing voice again. One of the coolest things we have is on screen at any given time, there can be up to, and I'm pretty sure this number is still right, but don't quote me on it, even though I'm saying it on recording. 100,000 units active. 100,000
seems like a lot.
Individual little people can be active on your screen at any given time. It's so like you have your citizens that walk around in your cities and everything like that, but with our living world is also animals and dangerous creatures that are out just wandering the forests that can attack you and block you from building things and all that stuff. But we can have up to 100,000 of individual people, units, animals, creatures, etc. on the screen at any given time. And what our engine does that no other strategy game does, let me keep my marketing voice on, that no other strategy game does is it uses your GPU and CPU in ways that other games don't. So most games will use, you'll have multiple cores on your CPU as well as your GPU, and they'll use one, maybe two cores. With our game engine, our nitrous engine, our proprietary nitrous engine, marketing speak again, it uses all of the cores that you're not using for other things. So you have a 8-core GPU. It will use all 8 cores because you're focused on your gaming, as opposed to a lot of games that will only use 1 core. So you'll notice that your performance will be much better than it would be on other games of this type.
Gotcha.
Because it utilizes all of the core systems in your computer that are sitting there doing nothing while you're playing your game. And so it lets you do a lot more faster than a typical game of this type would do.
That's pretty sweet. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said, I mean, not even marketing speak. I came down tonight. I went upstairs and I started cooking dinner, and I had to wait for like an hour for dinner to get done. And so I came down here and I played a game of Lara. I didn't even sit down and play like anything else. I was like, I haven't played in like 4 days. I need to sit down and play a match because I miss it. And that, my wife came down and she was like, "Are you playing your game?" Yeah. "You're not even working." It's like, "I know, but I missed it." And that to me, it's one of those signs. I was like, "Crap. I think this is really a good game." I like not just putting my marketing weasel hat on. And I missed playing the game that I work on, and that's really cool.
Well, I'm gonna end up pulling. I don't like when I have to wait.
Just Leroy Jenkins it. Just run it.
Oh, here they go. Wonder if anybody's gonna get trampled. Throwing your tar there, you might. Yeah, there's a lot of DPS here. They should be able to. Oh my god, I got punted 3 times. Oh my. That was pretty insane. I didn't know you could actually go that far.
That was awesome.
Rooted.
And besides, our game has land sharks. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Land sharks, huh?
No, it was a bug we had where you can do fishing of various types of creatures and everything, and it was in one of our video dev diaries. We had a long-standing bug where the sharks would wander up on land and attack people.
Oh, like that's one you just need to leave. Or
Like,
that's the checkbox in the settings. Enable land sharks.
That's what I said. I was like, I personally like the land sharks, but I guess they figured that was not intentional.
I guess. Oh, what are they gonna put this on? I hope they just let the loot roll. I hope they don't want people to actually do all this stuff, because that just takes too long. Why am I going this way? I don't need to go that way. I need to go to boss 3.
Game is still so pretty, though.
It is. Look at all these units on screen right here.
Tons of them. They're all dead, but they're there.
No, these guys are moving.
Kind of.
Oh, they did the roll. All right. I don't want that. That. Don't want that. Don't care about that. There we go. Oh, now I kind of wish I was back in AoE for this. Oh no. Pass. Pass. Roll.
Love rolling on things in combat.
Isn't that great? Shit, I'm just gonna go to the end. I really wish I could switch, but it's too late. I love being a dumbass. There, look. You know what? I already pulled the end. You're good. Just...
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yep. Just gotta let them know. Alright. Wonder if they're gonna want to go all the way to Gothmog. Wait, why are they up here? Oh wait, I'm not in combat. Let me switch. There we go. There's always this slow effect in here in this gauntlet. There we go. Oh, they're all respawned down there. That sucks. I might have broke it.
Good job.
I'm very good at that. I find a lot of stuff that breaks.
Oh, I do the same thing. I do. My team here is not happy with me most days. Like, why is this thing doing this? I just broke it. And they're like, how? I did this. Why did you do that?
I pushed the button.
I did. Because it made sense to me at the time. Wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I did it anyway.
It does appear that it is bugged. Because all these guys are green.
You broke it.
I did break it. Unless there is something else up there that is still active. It was a few years after you had left. I want to say it was either in 17 or 18. I actually got to go visit the studio, and I remember sitting down with Opinion, and he actually showed me how the raid after this one, the Abyss of Mordath, was set up. And to your point, it is incredible that they can even make this stuff work.
Right?
Because it just looked like, so the final boss in there was Fingar, and it was like just a big dragon worm type thing. And he showed, like, he turned on this like wire mesh basically, and it was showing like all the calls and triggers and all that kind of stuff. And it was just like, well, no wonder some of the stuff like doesn't work properly. It's like, I don't know how you read this. Like, it's and
I mean, people got to remember that the engine you're playing on was built in 1994.
Yep.
It's just been upscaled and band-aided and upgraded as best they can do. But this is the turbine engine that these games run on was built in 1994. Like,
correct me if I'm
moly,
wrong.
the fact that this game can still do stuff is amazing.
It is a modified version of the Havoc engine, right? Is that correct?
No. I'm not an official Turbine spokesperson or Standing Stone spokesperson, so I cannot say that. Havoc did exist in 1994. This was completely built from the ground up based on their own, a bunch of guys in a garage that just wanted to make something work. As far as my understanding was, they built this literally with no experience of doing any type of gaming or 3D engine before this.
Interesting.
Now, if that is untrue, again, I am not a spokesperson for Standing Stone Games. But if that is untrue, I never saw any mention in anything that I did of anything about Havoc or any other game engine experience before then. Now, there may be some stuff integrated after the fact.
And maybe that's what it was.
But from my understanding, it was those four or five guys in the garage from MIT.
Yeah, because I could have sworn that's like basically where they got their physics from.
They may now. They may, again. I don't know.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Let's see. There was one license. which is funny because that's owned by Microsoft now.
Now you make me look it up.
That's what I'm doing now because I'm.
No, because Havoc was founded in 1998.
All right then. So they probably just updated the physics then.
Yeah, they may have, like a lot of software companies will do that, is they'll incorporate things. But let me see. Version 1.0 of Havoc SDK was unveiled in 2000. Yeah, it was founded in 1998, which would have been 4 years after our engine. Or the turbine engine.
Where is...
Yeah, I didn't think I was crazy. I don't see any connection, at least as far as I can see, but...
Yeah,
Again, we've had lots of people come through, so there may be some connection somewhere.
yeah, it's possible. I remember reading it somewhere down the line.
But I knew the turbine engine was, and again, from those guys that from MIT, basically, I forget. It's been so long now, but I forget. One of them got hit by a car.
Jesus.
And that was the insurance claim was the seed money to build the engine because they wanted to basically make an MMO type game.
Well, damn.
With the emerging internet. Now, some of the former founders of Turbine are not some of the finest upstanding people, but yeah, I think that one, I don't remember any Havoc references even when I was there.
I don't know where I saw
it
it.
was so terrible for doing anything, you know, a la Infinite Crisis.
I remember that.
Yeah, that such potential should not have been done on the turbine engine.
Wasn't that something you guys talked about? Like it was going to be done on Unreal, but then there's like, no, it costs too much. We'll just do it on our own. Basically,
I cannot speak for what the executives decided for that. I can just say this is the turbine engine is what the team was tasked to design it on, and we could not, or they could not, make it react fast enough.
Mm.
It didn't have the instant click based solely on your internet latency that a game like League of Legends had, or Dota, or one of those ones. There was just too much of a delay, and the engine was just not capable of making up for that difference.
Okay, I think this is part of what I remember. Just part of it. There was an announcement from Turbine back in 2008 that they officially licensed Havoc Physics, Havoc Animation, and Havoc Behavior 6 for their yet unnamed MMO project. Stated that for creating their next MMO on PC and consoles, which would fall in line with the Havoc engine, which includes support for multiple platforms, including PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii.
That was the early iteration of Infinite Crisis.
Really?
Yes. No, it wasn't Infinite Crisis then. It wasn't a DC game at that point. It wasn't anything like that. We wanted to do something on consoles that could cross the boundaries. But that's, that kind of speaks into how long video game development takes.
Right, exactly.
Is you license these things, you go, hey, we're going to use this, or hey, we're going to do that, and then 5 years later, it's something or it's nothing. Early on, and you mentioned that now, I do remember that was early iterations. Again, it wasn't a superhero game, it wasn't even a MOBA, it was the next MMO, as you said, but it was through the evolution of all the things, and then of course the acquisition from Warner Brothers and everything else. That's what eventually evolved into Infinite Crisis. But at the time, it was just going to be more of an action-y MMO.
That is still in my list on Steam, Infinite Crisis.
There was several MMOs and other games that at certain points we had looked at and we were going to we showed interest in. I won't name the titles, but some of them failed, and one or two of them actually became fairly successful. But we had pre-Warner Brothers, Turbine was trying to take on more of a, hey, we can make your MMO. Just give us, you're a publisher, you want an MMO, we'll make it. Mm-hmm. Give us an IP and we'll do it. And this was again early to mid 2000s, and it was, some of the ones that came through could have been really cool, especially looking at some of the games that we have out now. And then there was we looked at kids titles, Japanese titles, everything. It was, at one point we were looking at a little bit of everything to try to see what could be the next big thing. And well, we know how that worked out.
Yeah. Trying to find if there's actually more specific info on that engine. I had it at one point. Oh well. I'm sure tomorrow I'll just come across it and be like, oh, that's what I was looking for. Hey. What time is it? Oh god, it's 1 o'clock already. See, this is what happens when you and me start talking, man. It's 2.5 hours later.
I was just looking at that. I'm going, my wife's gonna kill me.
I remember that part too.
It's fine. I just have to be up at 7:30 to watch my 5-year-old. It's fine.
Well, hey, we can definitely link up on all that stuff. That sounds good to me. So
Absolutely.
we'll send it to the DMs.
Yes, absolutely. And again, I mean it. It was, you were one of the first ones, and I think it'd be really cool to have you part of the next one.
And bring it full circle.
Absolutely. I'm not trying to steal you from Lotro. I want you to be able to do both and all that. We're still a little bit down the road.
Yeah, I got
sometime in 2024 with no date to be named yet, but giving opportunities to the people I know that are going to put their all into it is important to me, and again, you were there from the beginning, so
yeah,
if you
I
want
appreciate that.
to jump on the train again, you're welcome to.
Sounds good to me, dude. I think it's definitely worth a look-see, and we'll see what we can do.
All right,
I'm down for it.
I'll hit you up on the DMs after I get back to actually working, since this is my free time stuff. But yes, I will hit you up, and we'll start talking and see about getting you a chance to see some things and see if it's something you're interested in.
Okay, sounds good, dude. Look forward to it.
All right. Well, you have a good night. It was great talking to you again.
Yeah,
and,
man.
I'm going to go to bed so I can be up in 6-ish hours. So, yes, have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, man. Take it easy. Good talking to you, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Later.
All right, see you, dude.
Bye.
That's how we used to do it, chat. Just 3-hour-long conversations. So yeah, that's fun. Go down a little memory road there. Freelorn is such good people. I always love talking to Freelorn. I did give him such a hard time when I was the early days of streaming Lord of the Rings, and yeah, it probably was a little aggressive, but yeah, when you want stuff done, you push. But I do think that's a good spot for me to hang it up. It was a pretty long day with day after Christmas, so I'm gonna get off here. I am trying to work on a gearing video right now, as it is in LOTRO right now, pre dungeons. I have a lot. Let's see, where is it? We'll just say I have a lot of tooltips to work through, so got to write that all up, shoot it, all that stuff. So if I missed questions one time, no, I did. I didn't shout people out enough while we were talking, but when you're in an engaged conversation, that tends to happen. So if I did miss you, if I missed a question or something, I do apologize. Certainly feel free to ask. But I'm gonna get out of here for this evening. Make sure you're hitting up all the social stuff, and I will see you guys back here on Thursday night. I think I work early, so we should be fine. We'll do Thursday and we'll do Saturday, and then it'll be in the new year. So we'll see what that brings for us. Cool. All right. Let me see if there is. No. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get off of here. You guys all have a good night, and I will see you back here on Thursday. Cool. All right. I'm out. Later, everybody.